Now, this is a summary. I've actually got audited accounts here, but this is just a summary. Can you read it?
Yeah.
Okay, here's a trend. Look, that's 2007. Here's the income in each of the years. This is the year ended March this year. That lump here, that extra, is because we claimed back a lot of gift aid. The reason we delayed claiming gift aid was because we actually had substantial cash reserves. What's been going on, though, is that expenditure has actually been rising. We've been able to fund that expenditure because we built up, through legacies and careful management in early years, we built up a substantial cash reserve. That cash reserve, you see the deficit each year? That has left us with a cash position of 70 odd, nearly 80,000 down to about 18,000. Now, that will go up because a lot of that gift aid is coming back. But the trend there is important. The basic income has been fairly flat. Expenditure rose, we appointed Libby, and we developed a significant number of extra resources. And so you see we're operating now in a deficit position financed by historic reserves. Okay. Next slide, please. Now I thought it might be interesting just to do some quick look at what we're spending in effect on each child. We can discuss, well, there's 13,000 children in secondary education. There's about 25,000 total in education in the Chelmsford area. But if you express the income in each year as the amount we spend per child in a year, or the expenses that we have, we're running at about the average over those last 4 years is about £5 per year per child. We work with young people ourselves, teenagers off the streets. It is fantastic to hear some of these stories tonight. Absolutely fantastic. And you know the lives and the pain and circumstances in these kids' lives. The need is massive, and I don't think we can calibrate that need. That's a cup of coffee and a sandwich at lunch, isn't it? Next slide, please. The current expenditure is running about 70,000 a year. If we were to break even, we'd have to have an increase of 1/3 in order to balance, make the income roughly the same as the projected expenditure. And there is again that figure, £5 per year per secondary child roughly gives us that. Next slide, please. Just to give a look at sort of how many donors and how they're made up. There's about 150 non-church donors, that's private trusts and individuals. About 18 churches give regularly. The average monthly income from the private donors is £18. That includes gift aid recovery. The average church per month is £92. Now, how are we going to deal with this budget question? Because unless we do, then in 2011, about a year from now, as things are, there'll be a serious problem. And when you hear the kind of stories that you heard about the outreach that's going on, probably incomparable. There are 150 donors, so if we have an each one add one. And remember we called it G5, give £5. 150 new donors at £5 a month produces about 9,000 a year. Put another way, if we take the average given £18 a month by private donors, personal gifts, then we need 73 of those in order to break that deficit of 16,000 and to balance the budget. It's quite a challenge, but the need is there, and I'm sure that all you folk here are phenomenally committed anyway. But there's a message to get out to multiply so that we can actually see this work thrive. One more slide, please. I think that's it, isn't it? You know who said that? If you'd like a copy of this, if you give a note to Lindsay at the end, we'll mail out to you, electronically mail out to you a PDF of that PowerPoint presentation. The accounts have been audited, and if you want a set of those, they're here. We haven't had a trustees meeting to sign them off, but the auditors are happy, so I guess we'll be happy. But you can take a set of those too. Thank you.